Morning, this is call number 2020-57444 in the interest of Ingrid, Genesis, Cindy, Javier, no, I'm sorry, Ingrid, Genesis, and Cindy Muñiz and Javier Muñiz Pineda. All parties and witnesses, please unmute yourselves and raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Ingrid Pineda, and I'm the mother.
Okay. Sir, your name and your relationship to the children.
My name is Edgar Javier Muñiz, and I'm the father.
All right. And representing the father.
Hector Sanchez, attorney for respondent, Your Honor.
All right. And representing the Attorney General's office.
Vita Sharma, Your Honor.
We have an original petition and a suit affecting the parent-child relationship with an AOP. We're having a hearing. Is that correct, Ms. Sharma?
We are, Your Honor.
And do we have any stipulations?
Judge, we do. The parties agreed to stipulate that Ingrid Alejandra Munoz should be removed from this petition because of the date of filing on September 17th of 2020. The oldest child, Ingrid, emancipated, and she was 19 at the time. So the parties agreed to stipulate that we are moving forward with only the 3 children, Genesis, Gabriela Munoz, Cindy Valeria Munoz, and Javier Alejandro Munoz Pineda. And parties agreed to releasing $1,000 in credit for the retro.
Is that the whole of the stipulations?
That is correct, Your Honor. Mr. Munoz does not agree to child support, medical support, or retroactive child support.
Is there a, hold on. Is the conservatorship agreed to?
Oh, yes, Judge. I'm sorry. I apologize. Conservatorship is agreed to, and parties agree that Mr. Munoz is the biological father of the 3 children.
All right.
Managing conservatorship with standard possession, Judge. The pickup and drop off is not stipulated to because Mr. Munoz lives in Kansas, which is over 100 miles away.
All right. Who is going to be, how's the conservatorship? What's the agreement on the conservatorship?
Joint managing conservatorship, Your Honor.
And who has the primary conservatorship?
Miss Pineda, Miss Vanessa Pineda has the primary with the right to determine the child's primary residence or children's primary residence without regard to geographic restriction.
Okay. Mr. Sanchez, so far, is this your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pineda, so far, is this your agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the issues then are child support, retroactive child support, and what else? And what's the other one?
Medical.
Cash medical support.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let's proceed.
Yes, Judge. The state would like to call Ms. Natasha Bedu. Oh, and Judge, also pickup and drop off is also an issue due to the distance between the parties.
Okay. All right.
Ms. Bedu, please state your full name for the court.
Natasha Bidu,
And where are you employed?
the Office of the Attorney General, Child Support Division.
And what is the nature of your responsibilities as a child support officer?
To investigate non-custodial parent wage information, and with that information to calculate guideline, child support, medical support, dental support, retroactive support, if all is necessary in accordance with the Texas Family Code.
Thank you. And have you calculated child support in this matter?
I have.
And have you calculated retroactive support in this matter?
I have.
Can you, what are your calculations for child support?
Give of the non-custodial parents income of $23.14 per hour with the normal 40-hour week, giving credit for union dues of $16 bi-monthly, as well as the cost of the health insurance that CP has been ordered to cover at $225 and one outside child. The gross is $4,010.93. The net is $3,119.41, leaving child support at $854 per month.
Thank you. And have you calculated medical support?
Right, and that's at $225.
And have you calculated retroactive child support?
I have.
What are the dates of the retroactive child support that you've calculated?
From September of 2016 until now. So 53 months of support.
Sorry, you're breaking up, Ms. Badu. You're breaking up. You're breaking up, Ms. Badu. I can't hear you.
From September
Here.
2016 is the start of the retroactive child support until now.
How many months is that then? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ms. Sharma.
Until 2020.
I believe Mr. Sanchez asked how many months that was, Ms. Bidu. Is that 53 months is what you said?
Yes.
And what is the total amount of retroactive child support that you've calculated for those 53 months?
The total amount is $30,420, given $1,000 that the custodial parent spoke of giving credit for or agreed to give credit for. The total retroactive judgment is $29,420.
And is there a recommended payout with interest on this retroactive dollar amount?
Yes, recommended to cover the interest would be $205.
Thank you. I have no further questions for Ms. Bidu, Your Honor, and I pass this witness.
Mr. Sanchez, do you have any questions for Ms. Bidu?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Pineda, do you have any questions for Ms. Bidu?
No, sir.
All right, may she be excused, Mr. Sanchez and Ms. Pineda?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right, you're excused, Ms. Bidu. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Call your next witness, Ms. Sherman.
Yes, Judge, I'd like to call Ms. Pineda.
Okay.
Ms. Pineda, you heard all the child support guideline amounts. Do you agree to the child support at $854 a month beginning February 1 of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you also agree to medical support at $225 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree to maintain the current health insurance for the 3 children?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you agree to cover any uninsured medical costs that may be billed to you at 50%?
Yes.
And do you agree to the retroactive amount of $29,420?
Yes.
And where do you currently reside?
607 Burke Road, Pasadena, Texas, 77506.
And that is in Harris County?
Correct.
And where does Mr. Munoz reside?
In Kansas. I don't know his exact address right now.
Okay, and as far as pickup and drop off, where would you like pickup and drop off of the children for visits?
At my house.
Are you in agreement to meet Mr. Munoz halfway for pickup and drop off for those visits?
Pick up, no, but I can help him with the drop off halfway.
Okay. Okay, and have you calculated what a halfway drop off point would be from your home to his home? Well, considering you don't know where he live, where are you willing to go for a drop off?
I can go all the way to the border of Oklahoma and Dallas.
Okay. And do you have a specific place at the border of Dallas and Oklahoma where you would prefer?
I don't have that information right now.
Okay. And is there anything else that you want to say to the court?
No, ma'am.
One more question. When did you and Mr. Munoz separate?
2012.
And you filed for this action 6 years later in 2020?
Yes. I applied before, but because they did send some messages, him and his wife, so I withdraw the order and I redid it again on the 2020.
So he requested that you withdraw your request for child support. Is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Correct. Him and his wife.
Okay. And during the past 6 years, have you received any direct financial support outside of the $1,000 for raising the 3 children or the 4 children at the time?
No, it was just myself.
Has Mr. Munoz offered to pay anything for raising the children?
No, ma'am.
Did he offer to help pay for any medical bills?
No, ma'am.
Did he offer to cover the children on his health insurance through his employer?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Did he offer to cover the children on his employer's health insurance?
No.
Did he provide any school supplies for the children?
No.
Did he visit with the children during the past 6 years when you all separated?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I pass this witness.
Mr. Sanchez, do you have any questions of Ms. Pineda?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Pineda, isn't it true that he just visited with the children this last Christmas, last month?
Yes, that's why I told her that he always visits them.
Okay. And isn't it true that now that when he visited with the kids, he took them shopping for tennis and clothing?
He bought them a pair of shoes. Yes.
Okay. And how often does he visit with the kids?
I'm sorry?
How often does he visit with the children?
Whenever he comes to visit his mom. I can't tell you like any exact dates, but when he comes and visit his mom's, he visits my kids too.
In the last 4 years, could you give us an estimate of how many times he visits with the children per year?
Maybe like 3-4 times. I don't remember.
And when he visits,
Are you saying, let me clarify, are you saying once a year, Ms. Pineda?
No, like 3-4 times. I can be for sure because it's
3 or
not
4 times, okay, 3 or 4 times a year?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
and when he visits with the children, does he usually buys them shoes or clothing or school supplies?
not school supplies, but maybe shoes. It's been 2 times.
What about clothing?
He bought one of my kids a pair of pants, and that's it.
Okay. And when you say you're willing to meet your the father of your kids in the border of, you meant Texas, Oklahoma, or at Dallas?
Texas, Oklahoma.
Texas, Oklahoma. Okay. And that will be only for the drop off,
No, the pickup.
for the pickup.
Oh, pickup or drop off, any, but just once.
Okay. Why only once, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Why only once?
Because his family lives near over here and he always comes here to visit his family. So
Okay.
if he comes here to visit his family, he can pick up the kids.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I have no further questions from this witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sharma, call your next witness.
Judge, I'd like to call Mr. Javier Muniz.
Okay.
Mr. Muniz, how often do you come to Houston to visit with your family?
Yeah, I do like 2 or 3 times a year, 4 times a year. Go see my parents, see my kids.
Okay. And you understand with the standard possession order, when parents reside more than 100 miles apart, you're entitled to 1 weekend a month.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I explained to my lawyer, because there's a lot of hours. It's 10 hours drive for me to go see my kids and see my parents. It's a 20 hours drive for me back and forward. So I just tell her that, and she can help me with it, because she knows she drive when I take care of my kids to vacations. She drive to the Colorado, like the 15, 16 hours, Austin, Texas, Dallas, Oklahoma. She always got a vacation with her kids. So she can help me with pick up the kids or drop off my kids here in Kansas. They help me a lot, because in more than 40 hours that I have to go pick up my kids, come over here to my house, and go back again, drop my kids, and come back to my house. It's a 40 hours drive. So it's a little bit high for me, because I have to drive too many hours. I don't have the problem, but if she can help me with that, I mean, I'm okay.
And would you agree that you have 6 weeks out of the summer months to visit with the children, that they would be in your possession at that time?
Can you repeat that? Because that's,
You broke up.
yes,
Would
broke
you
up a little bit.
Would you agree that even though you're entitled to 1 weekend every month, during the summer, you're entitled to 6 weeks?
See, that's you know, I'm explain again, because that's too many hours to drive. On my job, I work 7 days straight, and I got 7 days off. So I can't go every 2 weeks to Houston, because that's spend a lot of money to gas. And I got a lot of things to do here in my house. But on the summer, in the summertime, when my kids on vacation, I have no problem taking my kids with me. But I can't.
Let me rephrase the question, Mr. Munoz. Out of the weekends, the 1 weekend a year, you're entitled to 12 weekends. However, during the summer months, you're entitled to 6 weeks. So
I can go.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument.
Wait a minute, Ms. Sharma.
Okay.
You can only speak one at a time, Mr. Munoz. Wait until she finishes the question, okay?
Okay.
All right, go
So-
ahead, Ms. Sharma.
Let me start over. On the standard possession for parents who live more than 100 miles apart, you're entitled to every weekend. But during the summer, you get 6 weeks. And you also get Christmas or Thanksgiving. So if out of those 12 periods for the year, let's say for the sake of argument, you would have to do pickup and drop off at least 10 times. And for those times, you may come to Houston anyway to visit your family. Would you agree to that?
It's broke off a little bit. I think I'm okay with that. I just heard
Okay. So
on parts, but I can go pick up my kids.
do you think that you all can come to an agreement? You would do pick up and drop off at least 7 times?
Can uh, can you repeat that?
Judge,
I'm sorry.
I think the witness is unresponsive, or my camera is breaking up, or my audio is breaking up, but I'll move on to the next question, Judge. Mr. Munoz, how much do you make an hour?
That's 23.14.
And do you work 40 hours a week?
I work more than 40 hours. Like I said, I work 7 days straight, 12-hour shift.
Okay. Are you in agreement with the wages that the child support officer, Ms. Badu, stated earlier?
I'm okay with the child support. I just want to know, and I need to call my supervisor or the people that I work in about the insurance, so I can put my kids on my insurance. I want to know if there's a little more less, or I don't know if that's gonna be the same. I want
Judge,
to make sure
this
how much.
this witness is unresponsive. Mr. Munoz, would you agree to the child support amount that Ms. Badu stated earlier, based on your wages of $854 a month?
I'm not agreed with that.
You're not in agreement? Okay. And you pay union dues of $16.90 with your biweekly paychecks, correct?
I'm not sure how much I pay for the union.
Okay. Did your attorney give me your paycheck stub earlier?
Uh-huh.
And did you review that paycheck stub with me during negotiations?
I don't think he had, Ms. Sherman, I don't think he has any problem with the amount that Ms. Badu said that he earns. His problem is with how much he's going to pay child support. Is that correct, Mr. Munoz?
That's correct, sir. I can hear
Okay.
you, but it's
All right.
hard for me to
Okay.
hear her because the voice is breaking up.
I understand that, but you're in agreement that your net is about $4,000, a little over $4,000 a month. Is that correct? That's what Ms. Badu said.
No, it's not correct.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in agreement on that. Okay, I'm not saying you're in agreement with the amount of child support, just how much you earn. $23.14 an hour, which translates to about a net after
Okay.
payment
Yeah.
taken out for union and so forth and so on, and taxes and so forth. You probably net about $4,000 a month. Is that about correct?
That's correct.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Sherman.
Okay. A few more questions, Your Honor. Mr. Munoz, you are currently married,
Yes.
and you do have another child that lives in the household with you.
No. I just got one with my kid, with my my
Right,
wife.
one child.
Yeah, one child.
And when you and Ms. Pineda separated, did you provide any direct financial support to Ms. Pineda for the children in 2016?
No.
Did you provide any direct financial support in 2017?
No.
Did you provide any direct financial support in 2018?
No.
2019?
I don't say I don't got proof to like pay her and check or MoneyGram or something like that, but I just give some cash and buy some for my kids.
Okay.
I
Thank you,
never
Judge.
give it
Ask
to
this
her
witness.
on her hand.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, do you have any
Okay.
questions of Mr. Muñiz?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Muñiz, do you have any other children besides the one that you have with your wife right now? I mean, besides the 3 kids pending before the court and the 1 child with your wife?
No. I just got 5 kids. That's it.
Okay. I have no other questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Pineda, do you have any questions of Mr. Muñiz?
No, sir.
Well, let me ask Ms. Sharma, do you have any further witnesses?
No, I do not, Judge.
Mr. Sanchez, do you have any further witnesses you wish to
No,
present?
Your Honor.
Ms. Pineda, I'd like to ask a question. Where were you living when you and Mr. Muñiz were together?
Different address, sir.
No,
But
no,
in
I'm talking
Pasadena.
about state
In
or
Pasadena.
city or, huh? I'm sorry,
In
Where?
Pasadena, Texas?
in Pasadena, Texas. Okay. So it was Mr. Muñiz that moved
Correct.
away from Texas.
Yes.
That correct? All right.
Yes.
All right. Anything further as final argument, Ms. Sharma?
Yes, Judge. The state would ask that the court set child support based on the current guideline amount of $854 beginning February 1. State would also like to ask that medical support for the 3 children be set at $225 a month beginning February 1. Additionally, retroactive child support for the past 53 months beginning September of 2016 to today's date, January of 2022, be set at $29,420. Judge, this includes a $1,000 credit for the previous 4 years with a payout of $205 and 6% interest going to the state. We would also ask that pick up and drop off at least 4 times a year, with mom doing one or the other pickup and drop off, meeting the dad for drop off or pickup close to the Oklahoma border, if they can agree on a place. And that is all for the state, in addition to the joint managing conservatorship and standard possession order, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanchez, do you have a final argument?
No, Your Honor. The numbers are correct, and the pickup and drop off suggestions, even though it was testified in different manners, I believe it reflects what the parties want.
And Mr. Muñiz, I would ask you, have you ever had any problem? Has Ms. Pineda ever denied you to visit the children when you come in to town?
If I have problem,
Yes. Do you have a problem with her
no,
about visiting the children?
no.
You don't have a problem.
And where she can far to drop my kids over here, and just she said in Oklahoma. What part from Oklahoma? Because she can drive all the way down to my house. She drive like 16 hours all the time when she going to Colorado.
But she has driven and taken the children for your visit on occasion. Is that correct?
Correct.
Oh.
I mean, if she can help me drop my kids on Oklahoma City, I'm okay with that. I can go all the way down to Texas to pick up my kids. But on the way, when I have to drop off, she can come to Oklahoma City and pick them up. I can drop off my kids on Oklahoma City.
Would that be your agreement, Ms. Pineda? In other words,
No,
one way each? I'm sorry?
No, sir. What I was telling
Okay.
you, that I can go drop them off, pick them up, or drop them off, one of the other, on the border of Oklahoma and Dallas. in Texas, I'm sorry.
Every month?
Well, I think that's the question he wasn't understanding that I think he can't pick them up like every month. And I think that's something that we can agree, me and him together.
All right. Well, it seems like there hasn't been a problem with visitation, except for the fact that it's a long distance situation, but that was caused by Mr. Muniz moving from the location where the children were, and that's your right and that's your decision. But based on that fact and the fact that there may be Mr. Muniz would be incurring expenses for long distance travel to visit with his children. I'm going to take that in consideration on my order. So a court will order that the father's ordered to pay child support in the amount of $750 a month, cash medical support in the amount of $200 a month, beginning February 1st, 2021. You have that down, Ms. Sharma?
I do, Judge.
Retroactive child support judgment is awarded in the amount of $24,000 to be paid at the rate of $150 a month beginning February 1st, 2021. Pickup and drop off for possession and access will be the mother's residence. All other stipulations are approved. Now, if you can agree to something different, that's not a problem. You don't have to follow this possession and access or pick up and drop off or any of that of this order if you can agree on something else. And it sounds to me like you're going to have to agree on something else because Mr. Muniz is not going to be able to do the visits every one weekend a month, but at least 4 times a year he'll be coming to Houston. And other times, if the children want to see him and you want to agree to travel to wherever to allow him to pick up the children, that's up to you guys. It sounds to me like it's pretty much it's working the way it is. All right, give me an
Yeah.
order, Ms. Sharma.
Yes, Judge. Thank you. We will do that.